I've been through the rain and I weathered the storm, I'm not looking to stop. My God sent the angels, I'm good when I move like I move with the mob. Tears in the valley, this life is a jungle, I pray to the top. Life is a marathon, I'm running to them, I'm shaking off weights and I'm done with the fear.
This is for the kingdom builders, the entrepreneurs who are called to make an impact bigger than just money alone. The ones who are overcoming trials and turning past failures into future success stories. It's for the bold who refuse to let fear overcome faith. This is Impact Kingdom. All right, we're in double digits. Welcome to Impact Kingdom Podcast, episode number 10. Let's get into it. So good morning, guys. Hope you guys are having a good one today. If you're listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube, listening on podcast, thank you for tuning in as always. So let's dive into today's topic. Let's talk about Joseph. So you've probably heard, if you've been to Sunday school, you read the Bible, whatever it may be, we all know the story of Joseph, right? Joseph, gets left for dead by his brothers out of jealousy. Next thing you know, he's in a prison in Egypt. Next thing you know, he's rising up. He gets out of prison. He's the right-hand man to the Pharaoh. Next thing you know, he's pretty much leading all of Egypt, gets reunited with his family, and he's the reason why, the Israelites start to actually grow in Egypt, right? And so Joseph's story is a beautiful one. It's a great one. I want to talk about something about that story, which is his dreams and how they changed as he matured, and how we see this be very relevant to our dreams, our aspirations as business owners, as kingdom builders, as we mature, not in just our faith, but just mature as people, right? As we get wiser, as we get older. And so it's really interesting because when Joseph first has dreams, right? His first dreams, this is before his brothers, try and kill him or, leave him for dead, or, then they eventually sold him into slavery. But before that happened, we see his first dreams that he has. And his first dreams that he has, first it's a bunch of stalks that are bowing down to him in the middle. Next thing you know, it's the one I think about the moon and the stars, and like they're bowing down to him as well. So it's about his family bowing down to him. And so he has these dreams, and you see how he kind of interprets these dreams and how he says it, and he tells his brothers and he tells his father. And a lot of it is actually very immature, right? It comes off in a way where he's excited about the fact of like, you guys are going to worship me, right? I'm going to be some great leader. You guys are going to worship me. And we see that's where his focus is. His focus is on how they are going to serve him. And then we see him go through all the trials, go through being a slave, being in prison, all of those different things, right? Just like all the stuff that happens to him. And then he gets to the point in life where he's older and he has to interpret the Pharaoh's dream. And so it's really interesting here because when the Pharaoh asked him, hey, can you interpret this dream? Unlike before when he was younger, and he just interpreted it and said what it was and made his own conclusion off of it, he didn't do that, right? The first thing he actually does is he says that he cannot, but God can. And so if it is through God's grace, if it's God's will, if that's what is to be done, then he can interpret that dream. So it's really interesting to see the maturity there, like the wisdom of, he now says that he can't. He didn't do that before. When he first had those dreams, he didn't first say, I can't, I don't understand what these dreams are. I need to go to God for this at all. But this time around, he does that. And then the second thing that happens here is that as how he interprets these dreams, this is not about him being served. It's about him serving and ultimately saving millions of people in Egypt, right, from the famine that's about to come. And so it's more so about how he can serve now. And so it's very interesting because he's still having dreams. Dreams are definitely messages from God that can be interpreted, but we see the difference in them based off of the trials that he has to go through and the maturity that he gets as he gets older, but also just through the trials that he has to go through. And this was the same thing for me when I first got the calling of I want to be an entrepreneur, because a lot of it was selfish. A lot of it was, I don't want to work for anyone. I want to have my own schedule. I want to be my own boss. I want to make a lot of money so I can do X, Y, and Z. I want to travel. I want this. I want that, right? It was all about what I wanted when I first had that calling of I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to get in business. And that's how I interpreted the vision, right? I didn't get a dream about being an entrepreneur, right? But like there was still that calling there, and there was probably a calling for you too. And like that's the vision, that's the dream that you're getting from God. But how do you interpret it at first? And for me, it was just like Joseph. It was very immature. It was all about how is this going to serve me? And it's very interesting now because now we come a full decade later, after going through trials, after going through being evicted, after going through not having enough money, after going through bankruptcy, after going through losing team members and failing and having to start over and all these different things and just going through trials along the way. My perspective now on the vision I get for my business moving forward is more about how can I serve and how can I make sure that the businesses that I have are also aligned with kingdom impact, right? Making sure that at the end of the day, that they are aligned in some way, shape, or form to make sure that I am pushing God's mission, his kingdom forward here on earth. And so it's really interesting to see that development. And I'm not saying I'm as wise as Joseph was when he was talking with the Pharaoh or things like that, not even anywhere close. But I do see that change in how I want to interpret the dream, the vision of being an impact leader, being an entrepreneur and a business owner that's a Christian. I see that changing over time as I become wiser. And a lot of that wisdom comes from relying on God, going to him first, right? Getting into your Bible, understanding the word, going to church, getting community, right? Learning all those different things, and those help us become wiser business owners at the end of the day. So I challenge you, check yourself, check your motives behind your business goals right now. Are they selfish, right? Or are they for the kingdom? All right, guys. Hope you guys have a great one today. As always, please subscribe, download the episode, give it a like, a comment on whatever platform you are, and I will see you on the next one.